Welcome back to the workshop. Many years ago, a friend of mine gave me some tiger maple slats. There's actually more of them. There's only 4 left. I think there were 7. They were pretty long. They were featured in a video long ago as something extra. And so now I have these. He had given them to me with the idea of using them for drawer fronts, decorative drawer fronts. They were in they're different colors. They're in different degrees of condition. So I thought, now that I'm working on Puzzle Cabinet 4, or maybe possibly the desk, or whatever it's going to be called, I thought now's the time to start using these pieces. Now, some of them have been used for making mechanical gears, because of the woods that I have, the maple, the tiger maple, was the strongest that could handle being made into gears, being cut up, carved into gears. And they are featured in Puzzle Box 5, the clock, as well as some of the other mechanical stuff experimentation I was doing at the time. So here are the pieces. We've got a dark piece, a light piece, another light piece, and a slightly dark piece. What I have noticed is that tiger maple seems to be glossy on one side and rough on the other. However, for this piece, both sides had a lot of staining and that sort of thing, so I shaved this side with a plane, and it got a lot better. So it's possible that they could be glossy on both sides. I don't know. I only need them glossy on one side. This one is cut in such a way, I think it may have been created as a possible piece for the Parthenon, because the Parthenon has a piece like this at the front to help support some additional material. Either way, I've got these 4 pieces. So I'm going to line them up on my workbench and see how they possibly could look for being used for drawer fronts. So here are our 4 pieces laid out. And I'm trying to think, well, let's see, if we want them in as drawers, maybe we lay them out as we would see them as drawers. So I tried some different variations of laying these out. And I mean, the pieces will not be this long. They'll be about 6 inches long by maybe not quite 2 inches tall. Because remember, I still want to do something at the very top of the cabinet with maybe some marble, a marble run or something like that. So place this here. I could use this if the bottom one was straight, but it really isn't. And so just laying these 2 rules out to kind of look at what's in the middle and sort of see that color pattern. Now, none of these are straight as far as square. They need to be planed down for their bottoms, and they may need to be thinned down. But this gives me an idea of how this might look in the future, or how the orientation of this. You know, it's not the prettiest thing, but if you have seen some of my previous videos on what Puzzle Cabinet 4 is going to look like, it's not very pretty either. It's made of pine scrap that I had from years ago, and it's very much an experimentation project. But I felt like if I waited until I did a really good project to use the tiger maple, that time may never come. So I felt now is the time to use the tiger maple. So here's a piece, kind of rough on one side, discolored. I want to get all that off, make it more like the other side. Let's see how that goes. In just a few strokes, you can see it's a lot shinier. So obviously it can be shiny on either side as long as you get the rough end off. Let's try with another piece. Again, it's a little more matte on the second side. Now, the wood is not really that hard to work. It may be more of a not well sharpened plane. Again, I think this plane blade needed a little bit of sharpening, and I did this. I just kind of went for it anyway. It's not really that hard to sharpen, or it's not really that hard to plane the material. So this piece is very uniform on both sides now that I have planed it. Now this piece, it's got these lines. Their lines are actually in the wood. You can see them sort of there on the edge to the far right. Trying to get a better view of that. And it doesn't correspond with the grain. So you got these lines within the wood, not affected by the planing. And it's a little disconcerting because is this future cracks or what are these? So it's something that I took notice on that particular piece. So I still don't have these marked out as 1, 2, 3, or 4. These two are a little thinner than these two, a little thicker. So I think I'll put these two on the bottom because those drawers will probably have the larger knives. And then these two will be more at the top. So here are the 4 pieces, and I've selected a way in which they're going to all be presented as the 4 drawer fronts. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've given them letter designations based on a parts list that I have with my instructions. Here's a part list, and top drawer through the bottom drawer are H1 and I1, J1, and K1, and then of course it has what section those items are in, what the wood type is, and any related parts. Like for each drawer face, you have the related parts of the side, the bottom, and the back of the drawer. So I put those all in here as related parts. And so this one is actually slightly smaller than the 2 inches, which is good because remember I want to put the cover in with the hole for putting a ball in for the marble run. And so otherwise everything is about where it needs to be. I might have to do some fine adjustments, but it's time to start making the drawers.